This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm still in this haunted theater, and I've got a review of Ride or Die, a Japanese romantic drama from Ryuichi Hiroki, released this year. The film opens with a woman, Rei, seducing a man at a bar and being taken to his house for sex, during which she murders him. It is revealed that she did so at the request of the man's wife, Nanae, a childhood friend and the woman of Rei's desires. After this, the two run off together out of the city and into the countryside. As the investigation into the husband's death continues, the two reminisce about their youth, their love, and whether they should commit suicide or turn themselves into the police. Eventually, the rest of the world begins to encroach upon the two, and Rei herself begins to question whether or not Nanae is a person worth throwing away her life for. The film's opening scenes, specifically the murder and some flashback sequences, betray the tone of the rest of the film. There are some tense scenes, but the opening of Ride or Die is the highest tension that the film reaches. The rest is a slow and somewhat bumpy ride as Rei and Nanae hide away from the world. The film is focused on developing their characters, and in particular exploring Rei's background and how she came to know Nanae through school. Their story comes at the expense of some other characters who are introduced but never receive a full or satisfying conclusion to their story. Of course, the movie isn't about those characters. It's about Rei and Nanae and the bond that they formed during their time on the lam. It's initially imbalanced, with Rei's feelings for Nanae being strong enough to kill, but continuing to go unreciprocated until later in the film. Nanae, on the other hand, seems to either be unaware of how strong Rei's feelings are, or is overjoyed that she is able to keep her under her thumb. Their relationship is particularly toxic in this regard, but it seems to improve over time as the depth of what affection is there is explored. By the end of the film, you do come to agree that, even if it's not at all ideal how they go about expressing it, the two do have some sort of love to share. It's definitely an uncomfortable love, for sure. The film takes a slow, almost dreamy pacing from the start, limiting itself to wide, one-take shots with very few close-ups in between. Most of the film is shot like this, which helps create a sense of realistic timing, but limits creativity in the cinematography for the most part. Furthermore, these long takes are included almost in their entirety, which ends up reversing what I assume was intended to be part of the dreamlike pacing and comes off more like padding. There are a rare number of instances where the long takes are almost invisible, generally when there is actual action going on that captures your interest instead. Ultimately, I think that it's the pacing of the film and the general incompleteness of some of the storylines which are detriments to Ride or Die, Rei and Nanae's discomforting love story aside. Not all is lost, though, of course, as their chemistry and their story as a whole is enough to keep things going. But overall, it feels like they had a large number of ideas and stories that they wanted to tell, but either forgot to include them in the final cut or removed some but not all of their scenes. Ride or Die, Ryuichi Hiroki, 2021, 3 stars. It's a tough watch, but I would still recommend giving it a try. Well, that's the review. You know how it works by now. Leave a like or a comment, drop a sub or a bell, and then help me escape this place.